You know what? Halloween is almost here, and we're excited. So, thanks for coming and joining us for one of my favorite holidays. And, ladies, I am sure it's one of your favorite holidays too. Yeah?
Yes.
So, introductions, as you know, of course, I'm Angela, and I have with me,
I'm Brittany.
and Brittany's been with me for a number of years
Mhm.
now. And if you've ever gotten a package from us, it is her magic hands that have packaged it. She is also the lady at the other end who tells you, answers your questions, takes care of your problems, etc., etc., etc.
Solving your
And
life
Yes.
problems
yes,
from Berlin
yeah,
Trowbridge
yeah, yeah,
Warehouse.
yeah.
Yes.
And she is also, medieval extraordinaire. So she is the person to go to. She did we when we did our Curdle
Hmm.
live that we did. She was the one that did that with me, and we also did a couple unboxings and
Yes, we
things.
did.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And then I have Samantha, who you guys have seen off and on over the years, and
Yes.
Samantha did some of my very first videos for me. So
Yeah.
Samantha has worked with me, for me, been with me over many
Yeah, a
years.
long
I've
time.
known Samantha a long time. She used to come and work in the tent with me. So Samantha is now the tailor and the costumer for Jamestown Yorktown Foundation, and she does all time periods. But of
Yeah.
course, her expertise is leans towards the 17th and 18th century for her work, but she has expertise in a lot of areas. And she also is a great lover of Halloween because as soon as the stuff hits the shelves, she
Yes.
and I start texting back and forth.
Yes, it's
Did you?
here.
It's here. Did you go to Michael's?
Yes.
Did you go to TJ?
Joanne, did you go
Yeah,
to Home Goods?
yeah.
TJ Maxx?
Did you
We have
see
the
this?
circuit.
Did you see that? We have
Code
our
Yes.
circuit.
Orange. Yep, Code
Yes,
Yeah,
Code
Orange.
Orange.
yeah. Code Orange, it's time to go shopping.
Hmm.
So we thought we would start tonight by all of us sharing one of our favorite traditions from our past or else a favorite memory of Halloween from our past. So who wants to go first?
You start.
Oh, but that's like way past.
Okay, I'll start.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I would say so. I spent the first 10 years of my life in California. Oddly enough, Samantha grew up in California as well,
Mm-hmm.
and so I remember trick or treating. When I was a really really little kid in California, and the weather being beautiful. And then I remember we moved when I was 9 years old to Wyoming, and it's a lot colder in Wyoming.
Yeah.
And so I distinctly remember having to basically wear like parkas
Oh.
or like PJs and sweats underneath my costumes or
Mhm.
over just for trick or treating. And then of course you think about that once you become an adult and you want to wear the cute costumes and then just freezing your tushy off in the Mountain West where I spent most of the rest of my adulthood. And so yeah, I gave up pretty early on Halloween costumes because like it's too
Yeah.
cold, I can't look cute.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
So yep.
Yep, yep, because it's not fun. If you can't wear your princess dress and have it be seen, then what's the point, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it was only after because I didn't move here until I was in my 20s. And it was only after that point that I even knew that there was an issue, like where you would have to think about stuff like that. Because
Mhm.
yeah, all of my Halloweens were just
Yeah,
perfect weather.
Exactly. Ideal
So
yeah.
weather.
yeah,
Perfect
Mhm.
California
yeah.
weather.
Mhm.
So, what's your favorite?
My favorite has always just been trick or treating in costume, and I trick or treated until I was like 16 years old,
Yeah,
just because I love it so much.
yeah.
Like, if I could still, I mean, I guess you could still kind of trick or treat as an adult, but like in certain places, and it's true in our area, there are actually laws on the books where kids have to be under 12 and you can only trick or treat for this amount of time.
Mhm.
And it's like, and I'm
Yep.
like, that's horrible.
It's so different.
It is.
And so
It
now you
is.
can flash back to the very distant past of the 50s and 60s when I was a child, and I have several favorite memories. One is of my mother making me because you went to the dime store. There was such a thing as a dime store, and things cost a dime.
Like the
No,
dollar store now.
yes,
Mhm.
but things
Inflation.
cost a dime. You could buy toys for a dime, and you could buy candy for a penny. No lie. And you went and you bought your costume, and it came in a little box, and it had the mask, and it had the little. It was made out of some kind of fabric, nylon fabric. Um, your little costume. But my mother made me a homemade princess dress with a cape that I still have to this day.
Oh.
It was made out of white cotton and it was trimmed in purple, which was my favorite color at the time. And I had a princess mask. And my little brother insisted, I only had one at the time that was old enough, insisted on being a witch. And I have pictures. I have pictures of that Halloween. That was a very favorite Halloween. The other was scoping out the neighborhood to find out who gave out full size candy bars. That was a biggie. If you got a full size candy bar or a dime, because a dime would buy you an ice cream bar back then,
Ooh.
that was rocking. I mean, you were golden. If you could get a full size candy bar or a dime, that was good. And then, of course, we got to the age like you're talking 16. We were like 15 and 16. We would go home and change outfits and go back out
Oh,
again and trick or treat 2 or 3
Oh,
times to
oh
see
my
how much candy we
gosh.
could get. Yeah.
That's so
So
great.
those are some of my favorites.
Oh.
So tradition wise, any particular traditions? Any type of decorations or anything? Did your parents do anything special
Oh
for
yeah.
Halloween?
My mom, she's one of those decorate for most holidays. You know,
Mm-hmm.
has a pretty good stash in the garage. She's definitely a bit bigger on Christmas, but we always did, decorating inside and outside the house. For Halloween, I don't do much of that anymore. I have like some glass pumpkins, nice and classy,
Yeah.
So that's. I mean, I have a couple. I only do fake pumpkins outside because I've never had it happen, but I'm always worried that some teenagers are going to
Oh.
come and smash my pumpkins. It
Yeah.
has yet to happen, I believe. But I just kind of just go with the fake one, so then
Go
I
with the
don't have to
fake
worry
ones. So
about
then
it.
you, yeah, but they
Mm-hmm.
could
Yeah.
take your fake ones though. Yeah,
Hasn't
well,
happened.
true.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How about you,
Yeah, I
Samantha?
mean nothing out of the
You
ordinary,
live
I
it.
guess.
Your whole
Yeah,
house.
Yeah.
I mean
Your whole house
my
is
whole
like
house looks
this.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
Halloween every day in
Yeah,
my
it's
house.
Halloween every
Yep.
day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always think of you. Every
Oh.
time I see something, especially Halloween time, it's like, you know, I could endlessly buy Samantha gifts during
Yeah.
Halloween
Mm-hmm.
time.
You're just like stuck up for
It's so
Yep.
you stuck up for her birthday, Christmas, you
Oh.
name it,
Well, I
buy
will
it at
say, like,
Halloween.
you mentioning like the 50s and 60s costumes. One thing that I really love is costumes from like the 1920s.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
They're
they've been big on
so good.
Halloween since like the Victorian period,
Yes.
but the 1920s costumes, and they've got like catalogs of everything. And they're these really cheap, like crepe paper, like
Yes.
literally made out of disposable paper. But
Right.
they're so cute and so
Right.
precious,
Well,
and yeah, I love it.
well, is it Beastie that does the retro,
Yeah,
the paper?
yeah.
Okay, those were a thing when I was a kid. You
Mm.
went and you bought the accordion, pumpkins
Yeah.
and the black cats and all that stuff.
Hmm.
And that's what my mother decorated with. And we
Oh.
had the banners and all
Hmm.
that sort of thing. And of course, my dad liked the scary stuff. I remember one year, he we had full size candy bars one year. It was a big thing, and I was very excited. And I'm running around because I was very shy, so to have friends was a big deal for me. So I'm telling the other kids in the neighborhood that my dad has full size candy bars. So we all go running to my house, and I'm so proud.
Oh.
Well, we had an enclosed front porch, and I go up to the door and I'm knocking on the door, and the front porch is dark. And then I see this movement in the corner, and it's kind of white, and it's moving, and it's moving, and all of a sudden, whoa! Like we screamed and ran. It was my father with a sheet over
Oh.
his head, and he thought that was so funny. Well, we never came back, and he was so upset. He wanted us to come back and get
Yeah.
candy, but he scared the
It
hell
works
out of us.
too well.
Yeah, it worked too well.
Oh,
But yeah, but he was into the fright and all that kind of
that's so
stuff. But my
great.
mother was into the crepe paper like me. She
Yeah.
liked all the cats and the pumpkins, and we always carved really neat pumpkins. Everybody had their own pumpkin to carve,
Mm.
lots of mess, and the cooked pumpkin
Oh, pumpkin seeds,
seeds. We
yeah.
always had the pumpkin seeds
Oh.
and lots of pumpkin pies after. So you got plenty of pumpkin pies for Thanksgiving and pumpkin bread and all of that. So it was great. So do any of you guys have traditions that you want to share? Is there
Yeah,
anybody there
not
saying
yet.
that?
Just
Nope.
drop some stuff in the comments for us.
Yeah,
I
let
am
us know and we
monitoring
will.
the comments, so we would love to hear from you. This is a live chat with you guys as well, not
Yeah,
just us.
we're hanging out,
Mm-hmm.
you guys. We're hanging out. So when it comes to Halloween, like I said, I'm really into. I think I dressed up until I was an adult, of course. I did, I definitely did Halloween parties and all that all the way through college. And as a young adult, if I had friends that had parties or we threw a party, always dressed up. But then I kind of got away from it when I had children, but I always dressed my kids. I'd make clothing for them, that kind of thing. I made clothing for my grandkids. I loved doing that. I told my sons, I said, look, if your kids throw away these costumes, I'll come back and haunt them
Yeah.
because they are really nice.
Yeah.
They are very well made. So, Halloween and sewing, they go hand in hand for
Yes.
me. How
Mm-hmm.
about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, my grandma made all of my costumes and my sister's costumes every year, and she was also the one that really laid the foundation for my sewing. So
Mm-hmm.
she kind of like taught me the basics, and I figured things out by using her machine. So all of that is, yeah, very, very intertwined for me, and just getting to go, all of the earliest memories of going to the fabric store were going with my grandma to pick stuff out and like pick out the patterns in the
Yep.
fabric, and like having to look at patterns, you know and understand, like, okay, we need this and this, and like, so I learned from an early age, like, exactly how to look at a pattern and
Right.
figure out what you need, and how to just like read the
That
instructions
you
and
had to
stuff.
have the things that went with
Yeah.
it in order to do it.
Hmm.
That wasn't me. My mom sewed, and she did get into a time when I was little where she did, because in the 60s it was big to dress your child like you.
Oh.
So we had
Yeah.
like little shift dresses that
Uh-huh.
matched, in crazy daisies and big dots and stuff. But she when it came time for me to be old enough, I think I was 9 or 10, she was like, I'm not putting you on that sewing machine. I'm sending you to sewing school. So that was that. I went to the Singer Sewing School, and I remember the first thing I made was a jumper, a 60s jumper with a Nehru collar blouse that went with it, and I wore it with go-go boots, of course. And I was very proud of it. We did a fashion show, but I wanted to sew really for costume things. Like I wanted a skating skirt,
Mm.
and I wanted to dress up like a gypsy, and I wanted to dress up like a belle because the Kentucky Derby, you saw all the ladies dressed up like belles, as I called them at that
Oh.
time,
Mm.
and I
I
wanted
was
to be a,
literally thinking like
no,
an
they called
actual
them
I
like
like Belle
bells.
better.
They
Yes, just
called
a
them
Belle.
bells.
yeah.
And so I wanted to dress up like a belle, so I wanted to make one of those dresses. And it was just things like that that encouraged me. Yeah.
We've had some great comments.
Oh, great.
Winter says Halloween is an excuse to dress in costume, which of
Yes.
course, always.
Always.
Leah mentions that on November 1st is the Dia de los Muertos,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a gathering where everyone honors someone who has passed, which I think is really neat. I think the cultural aspect behind that is beautiful.
I
I
love
love
it.
the artwork that goes behind it, and I love the idea behind it, because I do think that as oftentimes with most modern American culture, we don't think about those things. It's always move forward, move,
Mm-hmm.
and so I do think that is a beautiful historical and cultural aspect that is still going on today. That's really special.
And it's amazing because it's so colorful, and the aesthetics of it is just so
Yes.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I would
Uh-huh.
love to be in California during that time, just once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just once.
So Shasta, sci-fi cheer girl, hi Shasta. She says coming up with costumes was my favorite part, but sorting candy and swapping with my cousins
Oh.
afterwards
Oh, yeah.
was a
Yeah.
close second.
Yes, high five.
Yes. Yeah.
But did you have a father who tried to take some of your candy?
Mine
That's
got
my
thrown
question.
away.
Oh
After
no.
we would trick or treat, we got to like choose a few to keep, and then my mom would get rid of it all because it was like, we can't have that much candy. So yeah, we did not get to keep our hoards of candy. Uh-huh.
No.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yep.
No.
Yep.
I really think there's something about having a bag full of candy that just like tastes different. Like, sure, you could go to the store and like
And you could buy
buy a
that candy.
bag, but it does not taste the same. It does not
No.
taste good.
No. No. And can I tell you something? My grandkids get all this candy and it will be in the closet till the next Halloween. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I would have eaten that till I was sick. I mean, what is wrong with you?
I'm gonna be
Like,
removing it. Like I bought a bag of 50 pieces because we don't get a lot of trick or
Yeah.
treaters in my neighborhood because it's really small. And whatever doesn't get taken, I will probably bring here because
yeah.
it will not be
No,
staying in
you
my
will
house.
not bring it
I know,
here.
I know.
No.
I will.
No.
I'll just like the last kid. I'll just dump the whole
Yeah, just give
bucket
them all
into
of
his
it.
bag and be like,
Yeah.
here you
Yeah.
go.
Then hit lights out and you're done.
See, it's this what funny story about my neighborhood is that we have the thing where the front of everyone's house has a lamp post in their front walkway and it's automatic. And so you can't just turn your porch light off and not participate in trick or treating because even if your porch light is off, your front walkway light is on, which is basically right in front of your house.
No.
So you have to.
Oh.
So yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
that doesn't work because I'm
Yeah.
not home for.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
we
now
just
that
make sure that we're home.
I go to my grandkids now, so I
Yeah.
literally
Mhm.
my little friends that live near us would they get their treat bag. I go there
Oh,
earlier in the day and they get their little
Yeah.
treat bags,
Mhm.
and then I head off to the grandkids' house and I dress. I'm
Oh, good.
Maleficent this year.
Heck yeah.
I'm excited.
Amanda says that some of my fondest memories are of going to the fabric store when the costume patterns came out,
Yeah.
and that last year her nephew wore a leopard costume that her mom had made for her brother in 1986.
I love
Wow, that's
it.
So
so
yes,
I
special.
love it.
absolutely.
I love it.
And Tammy says I want to see Angela in go-go boots.
I have a, oh honey, you know what? In stories tomorrow, I will post a picture of myself
Oh.
as an American Air stewardess
Oh,
in
nice.
red go-go boots.
Nice, nice. Ellen, as we know, Ellen Absher, she says that my parents went all out for our Halloween costumes, and my dad was an excellent sewist, and of course, her mother sews.
Mhm.
So we love seeing Ellen's adventures with her mom, gallivanting all over the world in costume.
Yes.
So thanks everybody for sharing your
That's
stories with us.
great.
That's so neat.
You know, my brother used to do all the sewing for his kids, and he would make all the costumes. That's so much fun. So we're kind of running really late
No, it's all
tonight.
right.
So we've talked about how it impacts your sewing, haven't we? And so we've got to start. We always promise you that we'll show you fabrics. Do you want to see fabrics? You have to say yay or nay on chat.
We're just gonna
If
say
you don't want to
yay.
see it,
Yeah, and then we'll just
if you don't want to see
go.
fabric, we won't bother. If you say no, it's okay. We're good with that. We have to see.
Ellen says yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we got one yes.
Okay.
So
Can I bring it?
Yes.
Yes, the
my
first
favorite,
one.
The best for first.
My favorite and the best. Look at this silk gauze.
This was an amazing find, so I'm really excited about this. And apparently, Samantha already
Yes.
has plans.
Yes, I do.
So I think you guys might have seen the post for the early Regency gown that had an underdress, but she's got an 1880s plan for it, 1890s plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I want to put it
so-
over like a really bright because they get some like crazy bright colors.
Yeah,
That
Because
they become
yeah,
fashionable.
because they're doing chemical dyes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they are doing these fuchsias
Yep.
and these really intense greens.
Chartreuse. Yep.
So I
Yeah.
want to layer this over some of that for.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For
It's
Paris,
gorgeous.
maybe.
For Paris.
For
Yeah.
Paris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't miss this on the website, even though I
Yes,
don't
this-
have
yep.
a number for it.
Yeah, this is up. This is in the silk section. It is, it is silk gauze, and I believe
Oh,
we're calling
yeah.
it spotted. So that is already up for sale on the website now.
Hmm. And I've got a big pile, so we'll go through them pretty quickly. What you see behind us is our black and our
Copper.
copper colored. The copper colored is style number 7560, but you'll find it in our silks. But doesn't this look gorgeous together? And don't I like need this on my body together? together for me.
So they're all really neat. They're a crossbarred silk
Oh,
taffeta, which is very cool.
I love them so much.
And so we have it in copper and black, and also white and red. We have a bright red
Oh,
in it
the
as well.
red,
It's
you
really
guys,
beautiful.
we don't buy it until you're ready to make Christmas. Because I want
No,
some, yeah.
it's a good
Oh my
vampire
gosh.
color though.
Okay,
Yes.
vampire.
Yes.
There you
Yep.
go.
Yep.
The
Okay.
black and the red.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh.
exactly.
Oh,
Yes.
stop. Okay, so I like grabbed a bunch of fabrics, 7511. This is a linen. This has an amazing weave pattern. It's
Yes.
black and cream. It actually reminds me of some wools that I have looked at, some extant wools. I haven't necessarily seen a weave pattern exactly like this in linen, but you could do so many things with this. This is definitely a time traveler
Mhm.
textile, and it's a medium weight. It's got some body to it,
Hmm.
so there's a lot of different things that you can do.
Yeah, the weave is really interesting, and on the
Yeah,
website we have an up close photo of it, so you
so
can
you can
actually
see
see
it.
it. It's really neat,
It's
and
a
I
nice,
don't
it's
cut
a
it
nice
enough.
European
And
linen.
I'm always wondering every day, why aren't more people getting this? Because the
Yeah.
weave on this is really
I mean,
unique.
it would make a great like 19th century walking skirt with a
Oh yes.
matching
Oh yeah.
uh,
Hmm.
jacket or else waistcoat. You
Mhm.
know, this is our Matter broadcloth. It's beautiful, and of course the color is pretty, and
Yeah.
it's very
It's just the
autumnal.
It's yes.
perfect like
Ma-
18th
mhm.
century red cloak shade.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it is
it
so
is.
good.
It is.
Yeah, we had it a few weeks ago, and it sold out really quickly. And people were asking where did it go, and we got it back. So
Yeah,
we have fully restocked this. We have lots of it. So it
grab
is
it
such
while
a
you
perfect
can because
shade
it
of
is.
madder.
Yeah, it just
Yep.
keeps going.
Mhm.
So another one of these figured wools that we've gotten in. This has a black, a tiny bit of wool, and like a beige in it. And you'll see it on the website. It's 75, 78. You need to see the up close to really appreciate it. Again, this is one of those time. It can work for any time frame. It is a lightweight. It's a worsted, but it's great for again lots of things. It can be a gown, it can be a jacket, it can
Mhm.
be, you know, it could be 19th century clothing, it can be a day dress, it can be a lot. It can be so many things. And it just has a nice texture to it.
Yeah, we have some
Oh, this
I
is
really
one of
like
my
this
favorites.
yeah, we have some really great textured wools and linens right now. I
Yeah,
do
we
want to
do.
mention that because last week we put up a post where it was the ancient Minoan, which was
Yes,
fabulous, and she used one of our
Yeah,
linen
the diapers.
she
diapers.
did.
It
She
was
used her diaper,
Intergalactic Fop on Instagram.
and it was so
It was
cool.
really cool, and I had actually one of my friends who does a lot of earlier period costuming. She wrote to me and said, "Please get more, like more texture fabrics." And I said, "Just go look." So she
We have
bought
so
that
many.
fabric,
Yeah.
and I said,
Yeah,
"No, you." I was like, "We both wools and linens. We have some really neat textures right now."
yeah.
So I said, "Yeah, you got to check all of these out. Go check these out."
You got to really look at the pictures
Yeah.
because I mean, I buy dimities and diapers and all these different weave patterns that exist in the
Yeah.
18th
Mhm.
century. And sometimes time traveling, and I'll tell you if it's a later period. Okay, favorite.
Yeah, that's
This
great.
is a really beautiful European linen. It's a really high quality
Yes.
linen.
Mhm.
It's black with a real nice white pinstripe. You can do anything with it, any time period.
Mhm.
Wonderful, perfect, great. Make all the things.
Cool for modern too, as
Yeah, cool
well.
for
Very cool
modern.
for modern
Yeah,
sewing as well. Yes, definitely.
brand new.
Oh
This
yeah.
is it's
Mhm.
Robert Kaufman,
Yeah.
No,
Richard Kaufman,
no,
Robert.
Robert. Yeah.
Robert
Hmm.
Kaufman. This is part of their Echo something series. It is I can't remember now, but it is cotton and hemp. This stuff retails at $30 a yard, and ours is like super cheap.
12 or
12,
yeah, I
yeah.
think we're selling for
It
12.
is amazing.
We have
It's
like five
beautiful.
colors or
Yeah,
so.
It's so
it
soft.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
it is a
ooh.
beautiful um, twill woven, black and blue. This one in particular, it has a beautiful hand to it.
Yeah.
It's soft.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
were talking about that you'd had a cotton that was almost identical.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, I do a lot of ancient clothing, like 8th, 9th, 10th century, and herringbone weaves are really, really common.
Right. In wool.
In wool and in linen.
Yeah.
There are finds of herringbone linens
Right.
in in Scandinavia in the Viking age.
And of course, you see that all over
Yes.
in the 17th
Yeah. So
and
I'm
18th
probably going to
century.
get some of the blue shades to do Viking clothing, actually.
There you go.
So, yes.
Sweet. Okay, beautiful, beautiful goose turd green.
Yes, it's the best shade of green.
Goose turd green.
Mhm.
It may not show up well in our beautifully lit stage here, but this is our goose turd green broadcloth. And if you don't have a piece of this, you need a piece of this because it's just great. It's a great color. It works for a lot of different time periods as well. But the name of it comes from the 18th century.
Do we know why it's named that? Do we know any
no.
history there?
I mean, have
No,
you looked at goose turd before?
Yeah, yeah, and it's and the thing is that the fun thing about it is that I've done a lot with. I've got original die receipt books. I've got some where it does name a name and it has an actual piece of cloth or wool with it with a name. In most cases, it's so simplified. It says green, blue, brown, green, blue, brown. That's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Red. But every once in a while you get these dramatic names. This one, Elephant, is it Elephant Smoke? Something like that. There's a book.
Yeah, I know what you're
I can
talking about.
post it. We'll post it on the live once
Okay.
it goes live, once it goes up on YouTube, and I'll post the name of the book. It's a great book. In fact, Nicole Rudolph was the first one that told me about it, and it's one of my favorite books. 7484. This is some of our kersey, and this kersey is so cool. In certain light, it has a rosy color,
Yeah.
and in other light, it has a little bit of an orangey color. It's so weird. It goes back and forth, but it's beautiful. It's a heathered look, perfect for any type of outerwear that you need or heavy winter wear. Again, it's going to be a coarser wool, so you can't raw cut it. You're going to have to bind it, but nice stuff.
Yeah, if you aren't sure about what kersey is, we actually just put up a Fiber Friday post on social medias, I think 2 weeks ago, that does talk about kersey, what it is and what it was used for. Because before I started here, I'd never heard the word before, and I didn't know what it was. So
and she asked
go
for
check
that
out
definition, so that's
Yep.
why that went up. So it's hard to see it here, but I've gotten in some black dimity. And it is not up on the website yet, but it will go up next week because it needs to go up. It hasn't gotten up there yet, but it will be up. And I'm going to own some of this.
Yeah,
'cause
I
we
made
always have to have
a summer dress out
Yeah.
of a different black dimity that they had a little while ago, and I
Yeah.
love it. Like anytime they get in those black dimities, like I've made quite a few modern makes out of that.
Yeah,
stuff,
I love dimity, and this one is these are European and they're just really nice, high quality linens.
Yeah, this one is about a 1/2 inch stripe in it. It's hard to see, obviously from this far away.
And it's semi-sheer.
Semi-sheer, but we do have another black linen that is up on the website right now that has a wider stripe. That's also a really lightweight. So if you want a wider stripe, you can go check that out, and that one is currently up too.
Yeah. Now I don't have a lot of this left, and I may have to help myself to some of this. But this is my little black and orange checked silk taffeta. And it's just gorgeous.
It's just perfect for
And
Halloween.
guess what? My friend Lauren Marangola is making something out of this currently. And I just noticed, I didn't read the whole post, but she had posted something. She goes, I know it's black and orange, but I'll wear black and orange all year round, as will I. So this is so wonderful. And like I said, there's not much left. So
I cut 2 yards for someone today.
I have a little piece at home I was going to make a waistcoat out of.
Okay, this fabric
feel like we
is a
need
Brittany
to
fabric.
Oh my
Show.
God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
let's turn it around the
Gorgeous.
other
Yep.
way.
There we go. Yes. So this is a silk cotton damask in a more.
And it has wool in it too.
It does have wool,
it's
yeah.
a silk cotton wool.
And so it's a little bit heavier, so it's got a, it's, but it's so it's not super thin. But
but it's really
I
valuable.
convinced Angela to buy this fabric because I wanted some, because I do a lot of 16th century costuming, as does Samantha, and I said the pattern on this
Yeah.
is so perfect for Renaissance era. So I have finally decided how much I'm going to get and what I'm going to get it for.
Hmm.
I've decided I want to make the portrait they rediscovered recently as Catherine Parr that they sold, I think, at
Oh,
like Sotheby's
yeah.
for millions. And
Yeah.
she has a black damask gown, and
Mhm.
she has a gold. She's gold damask 4 sleeves and 4 part, and I said this will be perfect for that,
Perfect.
because it is it's a little bit thicker, and you
Mhm.
can see on hers, like, hers might be cut velvet, but in my opinion this is close enough.
Hmm.
It's about as good as I'm gonna get, and we have it here, so of course I'm gonna get
Yeah.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this
Very
one's
nice.
fabulous. This is up for sale. You can get it now. But yeah,
It is
this stuff
so
is
hard to
amazing.
find like
Yeah.
good period patterns for damasks these days.
Yes.
So.
And
Yes.
this one, I mean, the gold color. I mean, this was all I could get. It was
Mhm.
just this one off, and
Yep.
I got everything they had.
Mhm. Yep.
So
So go
yeah,
check that one out. Don't miss out on this one. Or do, and I'll just buy it all so no
are
one
we
can have
almost
any.
done?
Wee.
Eh, we can go a little faster.
Okay.
We've got our gray mixed, our dark charcoal gray mixed. You see it constantly
Mhm.
everywhere, all over the place. This is a broadcloth, great for everything. I have a bazillion extant pieces of fabric where I can point to mixed wools, where you see textiles that look like this. It was very common, especially towards the end of the 18th century, but then, of course, you can time travel with it as well. But the charcoal is real common. You can do almost anything with it as long as you want a heavier wool.
Oh, this is really
I
nice.
know this is a
This is
super
really,
nice
really
Yeah.
great.
broadcloth.
Yeah.
Very
This
nice
is a
cloth.
real pretty broadcloth. It's an interesting brown color. It's number 7498. It's a real good quality. Has a really nice finish to it. Very smooth. Takes a good cut. This again is good for outerwear. It's good. This one is thin enough that you can do breeches, a man's coat. You could do a petticoat out of this, like a winter petticoat. You could do a winter jacket out of this.
I feel the same way
Yeah.
about the goose turd, that
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not super thick, so it has a lot
Yeah.
more
You could
applications.
do a 17th century winter jacket out of this.
Hmm.
You could do a lot of men's and women's clothing out of this. This is not up
Ooh.
yet, but will be going up soon. This is one of our stripes that we've had in the past. This is linen. And again, I've talked to you about linens before, the striped linens, and some of the colors, of course, were introduced with cotton in Manchester later in the 18th century, and typically that would probably have been this. This happens to be 100% linen, but great for a lot of different applications for men and women,
Hmm.
and a good European. This
Pretty.
is a
Oh, the maroon.
beautiful, yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
This is a beautiful maroon worsted. It is plain woven. The the finish on this is beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous. This is gonna drape beautifully. It is number 7548. Um, Gosh, I want a piece of this. This is, plain woven. I get a lot of twills. Plain woven is a lot harder for me to get. Um, Twill is acceptable and appropriate. Plain woven, I just happen to like because I like working with it. Twill has more give to it, so you have to be more careful. So,
And this is a somewhat similar shade to the German Renaissance dress
Yeah.
that you
yeah.
posted recently.
Mhm.
I
That's
think
very
this one,
similar.
yeah, I think yours has a bit more red in
Yeah,
it.
it's a little
But yeah,
darker.
similar. Yours is a different shade of maroon, but yes,
And
very
we
good.
also have a brighter burgundy that went up that has a twill to it.
Okay.
Yeah, that is. And then this is not up yet and is going up. This is 7400, and this is like a very pale, pale pink, I
Hmm.
guess you could call it. Uh, um, pale pink or pale
Shell.
shell. Yeah,
Yes,
shell's a good
yes.
word.
Perfect.
Okay, you
Yes.
just named it.
Okay.
This is
Shell.
shell. We have a beautiful shell linen here today. It's lovely as a lighting, as an outer material, as a lovely spring dress, or as an underdress for cooler weather. So
Yeah.
this
So
is another one
nice.
of our linens. Is that
That's
it?
that's
We're
it.
done.
No. Well,
No.
done with fabric.
So lots of fabric, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, as you know.
But
um,
announcements.
yeah.
Oh
Oh, we've
yes.
got announcements for you guys. Is anybody anybody saying anything
They're
before we
saying
go
is
on?
that they love that the goose turd is really almost a neutral, and Shasta says that damask is so pretty. I would love to see you make something out of it, Shasta.
Yes.
So
So this dude wants to tell you a few things. My buddy here. That's the one good thing that's been about recent. What I was going to say, we were going to talk about recent Halloween. Recent Halloween up until this year, I'm really
I
disappointed.
didn't
I
get
I,
anything good
I
this
didn't
year.
either. Well, I did get him.
Oh, well, yeah.
He was my find. No vintage Halloween.
Yeah.
There was a period where we were just like
Yeah, we
went
had a good
crazy.
couple years of
Yeah,
vintage
vintage
inspired.
Halloween. It was so great. But this dude I found, I don't even remember where. It was a weird place, but he's my buddy now. But he wants to tell you that come November, thank you, Hannah, there is going to be a revival of YouTube, and we are going to be dropping a whole bunch of new stuff starting in November. So stay tuned. Make sure that you are subscribed to us because Hannah has been working hard and we've got a lot of new content that's going to be coming out over the next few months. So that's one thing to look forward to. I know we kind of had a hiatus for a few months there, but we're getting back on the wagon. Um, we also have holidays coming. So get ready. Burnley and Trowbridge will be there with jingle bells on, I guess. Ho, ho, ho. But we will be there. We plan on having some kits and some fun and some specials and whatever else goodies we can come up with for you guys to keep your stockings full and to keep you entertained and keep you sewing through the holidays and into the new year. And I also, what did I do with it? It's over there.
what is it?
What do you need?
It's the list.
Oh.
I also, we also have a couple of teasers for you. Come the last weekend in February, we will be doing our open house for the first time since COVID. So we're really excited. We will be doing it. We will be hosting it. And Brit's not excited. But
Oh, I'm
she's
sure
just
it'll
like,
be fun. It's just gonna be it'll be a lot of work, but
Yeah.
we're very
yeah, yeah,
excited to see everybody.
yes. But we are going to do, it is going to be ticketed, not ticket cost you, but ticket as far as us handling crowds because we felt bad about the last
Yeah.
one we did
Hmm.
was a little
Yeah.
overwhelming. We had very long lines and that wasn't good for anybody. So we're working out all those kinks. So we are co-hosting this with Red Threaded, you guys. So Cindy will be back with all of her beautiful corsetry and she will be staying and hanging out with us. And the following week, she will be teaching a Burnley and Trowbridge workshop on 1820s and 30s corsets. And that will lead us
Why are we
into,
doing that?
I don't know, because then it's going to lead us into our first workshop of the new season, which is going to be, well, not the first one because she's the first one,
Yeah.
the second
Yeah.
one, which will be Samantha, who's going to be teaching us well, it's not the first one actually. Where are you?
I
You're
guess
the
I'm
second
third.
one. The first, Angela, try again. Corsets. March 1st is going to be Cindy. Then next will be 18th century ladies' jackets with Brooke in April. And then in May, I've got Samantha coming and teaching 1820s and 30s day gowns. So if you take our corset workshop, you'll have an opportunity to make a gown to go over that workshop. I mean, over that workshop or corset. I guess it's getting to be the elegant hour. Angela's getting, oh joy, oh rapture. Yeah, you make faces. I'm going to make a face now.
Uh-huh.
Angela's going to be teaching a textile class. Um, no, I am going to be doing a printed cotton textile talk. It's going to one of my textile little short lecture dealios on Saturday, June 29th. And then we are going to have a 1 day workshop on fringes and woven trims with Melissa
Ooh.
in June. And then we are going to have a late 1790s gown with Brooke in July. So we've got a lot going on. Those are going to be going up on the website. In fact, I think they're up there now. So we're already thinking about the new year. We've already got holidays all planned. You guys, we are rocking it. Make sure that you stay tuned, that you follow our Temptation Tuesday every Tuesday, that you follow our social media because Brit here has been rocking the social media. And be sure to share and tag us because I do stories, and if I can't find anything, it's like, oh, sigh, now what do I do? So
Yeah,
tag us, will
we
you?
love seeing what you all make with
Yeah.
everything. I think about that all the time when I'm cutting fabric all morning long and sending them out, and I always wonder, well, what are they going to do with this? And
Exactly.
so if you make something, tag us, share it. We want
Yeah.
it. We want to see it. We want to share your photos, everything. So please let us know
Exactly.
what you do with all of the beautiful things that you get from
And,
us.
and it's that is the God's honest truth because that is what's most important. I mean, these are bundles of fabric, and it's not fun until we see what they become,
Yeah.
right? And so, stay well, keep sewing. Samantha, I'm so glad you came
Oh, thank you
and
for
hung
having
out
me.
with
You
us.
talked about
We,
my
we miss
favorite
you.
holiday. Oh,
I
miss you
know,
guys
we
too.
miss you. But Samantha does come and hang out, and
Yes.
she does stuff with us on
Yeah.
occasion, and we always love having her. And Britt,
I'm here.
you
I'm
can,
just here.
yeah. Britt, you can't take the day off tomorrow. Sorry. No, just
Nope.
kidding. Hannah, thank you for hanging in there. Guys, she's been holding the phone
Yeah.
all this time. Anyway, take care, you guys. And thank you for hanging in with us. And we will see you on the next live. We'll probably hang out with you sometime in the Christmas season just to see how you're doing and to share a few Christmas memories and Christmas jokes or what have you. I don't know.
Ghost stories. Christmas ghost stories.
Christmas ghost stories. That works
Oh,
for me.
okay.
Okay. Until next time. Thank
Happy
you.
Halloween.
Happy
Thanks,
Halloween.
everyone.